Hi there, guys. I'm E.G. Daily, and you're listening to Your Nerd Side.
Welcome to Comic-Con,
where once a year, sci-fi buffs take their lips off the barrel of a loaded gun and spend half a day adjusting their eyes to sunlight.
You want to see a comic book with pregnant zombie nuns?
You psychotic nerd!
Dude, what a bunch of freaking nerdos.
Good to see I'm white and nerdy. Look at me, I'm white and nerdy.
I'm a nerd, too.
Your personality needs some work.
You're not part of the popular clique.
But I was kind of a lonely nerd in high school.
I started a quilt. I did yoga twice a week. I wore flip-flops in public.
I like to roll with the gangsters. Although it's apparent I'm too white and nerdy. I'm just too white and nerdy. I'm just too white and nerdy. Look at me, I'm white and nerdy.
Hello, fans. Welcome to another episode of Your Nerd Side, where we're giving away, and I wanted to talk about this because I got a lot of emails about this. Family 4-packs at Disneyland, and all you have to do to win is email us a Nerd Side question. And if we use it on the air, well, then you win. Simple and easy.
Not just an email, though, right?
Yeah, some people send emails, and I love the pictures, and we'll post them later on, but I didn't want to post them because you're like, well, you posted my pictures, so I'm going to win something. No. We want to do it.
Famous.
And Disneyland, where it's home for the holidays. And you want to check out DisneylandParks.com, DisneylandResort.com to find out all the information. You want to find out more about Disneyland? Again,
I do.
Disneyland.com. And click on the little link to find out about Disneyland on our website, YourNerdSide.com. On the show this week, we have A&V in studio with me. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff. Number one, I want to talk about Justice League. Was it good or bad? We'll get into that. Also, you got some emails that you've scattered through for this Your Nerd Side contest.
How did you know?
I don't know, because Brandon gave you some answers. You don't think the answers, Brandon, was totally on right with a point with this?
Brandon. That's all I got to say.
Oh, he kind of messed up a little bit.
Just a little.
Right.
Yes and no.
Well, if you copy and paste from Wikipedia, I don't think you'll lose.
Yeah, Wikipedia is not a good source, people.
Okay, and then also we've got an interview I want to do a little bit later on. Charley and Humphrey, if you know who that is. If you're a Bay Area native and you're not anywhere else, I'm sorry. Pat McCormick, TV personality, Bay Area from the 70s and 80s. KTVU Channel 2, Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose. Used to do a little special with these hand puppets all the time.
Miss them.
And used to teach you a little scenario and story. I'm going to put the little snippets of some of the shows up there. But these two guys actually went and created a comic book with Pat McCormick's permission, of course. And then we'll get into that. Also, go ahead.
No, I'm just wondering what happened to those cartoons that taught you lessons versus just how to buy new toys.
Well, it's called, we got to make money nowadays.
They made money back in the days, too.
Yeah, but they're making more money now by doing more violence. And they make the toy.
G.I. Joe always says, what was the ending of G.I. Joe?
Oh, G.I. Joe. Learning is just half the battle or something like that. Now you know, no one's half the battle. G.I.
Joe.
G.I. Juan or whatever.
Juan?
Oh, Joe. It was G.I. Joe. Yeah, at the end. I'm sorry.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!
And then also, I got an interview that I want to catch up. Junket, I went to The Rock. We're going to talk to The Rock and also Kevin Hart from the new movie.
Cousin.
Jumanji.
No.
Or The Rock.
The Rock.
Is his cousin big like him?
He's a large man, not as big.
So what nationality is The Rock? Is he Samoan? Is he black? Is he... No, I don't want you Googling it. Off the top of your head, what do you think? Because nobody really knows.
Pacific Islander.
You think so? Just because he was in Moana, you think of that?
No. I didn't say...
So he also voiced a segment in Coco. So he's also Mexican, too. That's what we're going to say.
Oh, is he in Coco?
No, I'm just messing with everybody.
Why are you messing
He
with
was in
people?
The Nightmare Before Christmas. He's also a skeleton or some kind of evil spirit. So we'll be listening to a press junket we did with them and Kevin Hart and The Rock. But first...
Did you know he's from Canada? That's why I wonder why he's so nice.
That makes so much sense.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone loves Canadians.
No, not all of them. Not unless they're your bosses.
I don't know. Have you ever worked in Canada? No.
No, but I've worked with bosses who are Canadian.
Well, but they were transplants. So that doesn't count.
They do everything backwards. Everything backwards.
Oh, well, so you were fixated on a certain way. You don't have a flexible mind, as they call a growth mindset.
I think you show up to work and work 8 hours and not 82 hours. They work the typical elf hours like they would do for Santa Claus. All right, first thing we get into is Justice League. Of course, not the biggest hit they thought it was going to be. It cost a lot more money than it was to make. What is it, $180 million to make? And they pulled in so far $80 million. But Justice League's doing really good, though.
Yeah.
In China.
International. There we go.
In China, it's number one. The Asian community loves Justice League.
Well, Well, Asian community is a lot bigger than just China.
I'm just saying, all right, the Chinese community loves Justice League. Is that good? Is that good and polite to say? What?
It said here that they still stand strong at 93.8 million after declining 31% on Sunday to a 22.7. Am I wrong again?
No, you're right. You know, it's really sad for Justice League is you go into the stores and you'll see on the shelves every piece of toy is not moving.
Well, they're not as nice as
they
they used to
kinda
be.
cheap. Well, we go to Target and they have those cheap Target ones. Batman, they build those special limited edition Target ones, and they're like, they just threw them together really bad. Target and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but you don't see kids in playgrounds really playing with those type of toys.
Star Wars toys. I see them still playing with Star Wars toys.
Did you see the new one where you could build your own, oh my God, lightsaber?
You mean like a Disneyland?
Just a Disneyland. No, you could buy it. Are you going to be with the Dark Force or not?
I don't like building lightsabers. I like getting the ones that just automatically built. All right, since we are talking about Justice League, and it didn't turn out exactly they wanted it to, I have the 14 wild ideas found in DC's early Justice League scripts. So they had many different renditions of this and what they were going to do and different versions and all that good stuff, okay? So 14 wild found ideas for DC. Now, this is pretty funny because Zack Snyder actually wanted to go one direction, and a lot of people put their hands in and totally changed the movie around a lot of different ways. And they're like, well, we got to go this way, this way, this way. You should just let one person run the show.
Well, but remember, there was some personal issue for Zack Snyder, so he had to leave near the end of the production of the movie. So another director stepped in.
Well, I know, what's his name? But he came in and changed a lot of stuff that Zack Snyder was doing.
A lot
of it.
But it's not. But have you been in love with any of his? I mean, Snyder does good work. But have you fell in love with his work?
Now, the only one I liked was probably The Watchmen. That was the only one.
J.J. Abrams, really, as a director, thinks a lot
Oh
stronger
my God, he did an amazing job at Star Trek alone. Star Trek turned into like a Star Wars of the Star Trek industry. All right, well, here we go. I'm going to read some stuff that they were doing. So, an earlier version of Justice League, you ready for this?
Yeah.
It had Desard fights Killer Croc in a shark tank.
Yeah, I saw that.
You don't like that?
You like it?
I liked it. It kind of had...
Are you part of those bandwagon people about, what's that thing, Sharknado?
No. I was more into... I would have liked Killer Croc better, but he's part of the, what do you call it, Suicide Squad.
But look at Aquaman. I love the person who did Aquaman. I think they did a wonderful job. But the underwater scenes were terrible. Can you imagine them in a fish tank? How bad it would have been?
Yeah, it didn't look that good. The water scene looked pretty bad in the beginning. I didn't want to say anything. Also, another version, Justice League, is already formed, and they're just getting coffee, and they're doing their stuff, and they're going to take off from there.
Just go to Comic-Con. There's a whole bunch of them doing that already.
So that's another version of
But I like the one is Steppenwolf kidnaps Superman, and then Superman could have been evil. Then they go into his home world, and then from there, the Justice League formed to try to save Superman.
That's a good idea. Because remember, there's an episode in the cartoon where Darkseid actually brainwashes Superman and has him, and he pretends like he has this whole mind thing that he's his son. Yeah. Do you remember that? And he leads all his armies and stuff like that.
But my personal heartfelt favorite is Batman and Wonder Woman love story.
Really? No. Okay, another one I like.
Hey, they did it in the animated series.
Yeah, I know we can go that way, but it's good, but I kind of wanted to...
agree. It shouldn't be the Justice League movie. It should be a spin-off before that. Maybe that's the way to do it, right? Is for Ben Affleck to leave, is that they have that love story, and then he dies again in Wonder Woman's life, right? Always the good, great woman has great love stories that end in tragedy.
These guys are not going to kill Batman. That's their cash cow. He's the best one that makes the most money for all of them.
Yeah, but then Robin becomes Batman.
I don't think they want that. I don't know. Anything can happen. Another scenario that we found was Green Lantern and Hawkman take down a space station nightclub. And this is one of the this is a nightclub. This is
your type of party.
Yeah, I guess so. They wanted to stop Desad from successfully weaponizing kryptonite to use against the last son of Krypton, and it was in this big, huge space station that was out in space.
But you need to help me, or listeners, help me. So remember the Superman versus Batman, and then you see an episode where Batman travels to an apocalyptic future. where was that in the second Justice League, or a hint of it?
I don't know.
Because that was part of the script. It's like they totally forgot. I know that was way in the future, but I don't know. Maybe because we have to wait for Lois Lane to die. But I don't know. Maybe that's for Justice League 2
Who
or 3.
knows? Sometimes I think they're just going off track. They go off the rails sometimes. They're not following the timelines.
How many people do you want to bet are writing the stories who don't read the comic books?
Well, it's probably true.
Yeah.
It's probably true. I mean, that's to happen with the last Batman movie. I mean, the last Superman movie. Superman Lives. That whole movie in the 90s with, what's his name?
Oh, Brandon Roth, who you don't like.
Oh, jeez. No, the one with Nicolas Cage was going to play the Nicolas Cage.
But
they had like
who
23.
was the name of the director who was involved in it? And they were getting all big on it.
What's his name from Batman? The original Batman?
No, not Michael Keaton.
No, the original director from Batman.
No, not. It was Tim Burton's idea.
Tim Burton.
I thought Kevin Smith was involved in it as well.
Kevin Smith wrote a script, but Tim Burton was always the director. And it was always his idea.
So was he manipulating it?
No, they stopped it because it wasn't based. The movie actually looked pretty good. If you really look, it looks really, really good. Amazing.
really don't agree.
And he looks
Anything
good.
With Nicolas Cage.
No, you've got to see the pictures. Everybody saw bad pictures.
I've seen
No, those aren't the
pictures.
pictures. The original photo shoot before they were about to start shooting with his hair done and everything like that looked amazing.
You know what's amazing was the comic book. I really actually enjoyed it.
All right.
Well,
Justice League, another script that was in the idea of the script was you went to the Bat Cave full of trophies. It was the time where they had the big penny. Remember the big penny?
Yes.
And the big dinosaur.
But that's
and
a
the
Batman movie. That's not a Justice League movie.
So they pulled it out. Well, they were trying to focus around him.
I know, but think of these people. Like they put Flash sacrifices himself to warn the present Justice League. But Flash barely has a cameo then. Who is thinking about these
They
things?
probably have a wall where they're pulling all the different comic books and they're trying to put it into one. That's what they're trying to do.
And then like the Lex Luthor for president, like
that was a great story though, but that should not be there yet. He was just in jail. How are you doing it?
Yeah.
Another version they're going to do is Darkseid kills the Green Lantern Corps, all of them. The entire Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah.
And, of course, the Justice League's got to go out and save them. But they're not... You're throwing a character in way too fast who's not even introduced yet. So I'm kind of glad they pulled it out. The other one is Batman fights a brainwashed Superman, which is like, well, let's just take Batman versus Superman and put another one in again. Right. And they had a little bit of that within the beginning of the movie when he did look at it. You got to give it. Justice League did have its moments. When he woke up and pushed out, and we're totally breaking the movie. If you haven't seen it, I'll ruin it.
He?
Superman came out of his chamber and was alive again. And you looked at that whole scene right there was amazing. That's the best part of the movie, especially when Flash runs around. He takes his little eye, and Flash, it's funny and awesome. Flash is doing his super speed, and he's trying to run around Superman, and you can just see Superman, because he's so fast, is just taking his eyes and looking at him, and then just lifts his hand to go punch him.
No, he doesn't go into it's after he gets out of the chamber.
Yeah, he jumps out of the chamber. He's done. All the Justice League's trying to get him,
Right.
Subside him, because he just woke up and he doesn't know what's going on. His memories are just coming back.
So, question now. So, Cyborg's armor, mine of its own, mine with one, or because, or is it an evil entity within him?
No, I think it's
because I never recalled Cyborg being that way.
I think it's
his armor.
I think
other
it's
characters, yes, but not him.
I think it has a mind of its own. Really, I really do think it has
I was
Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle.
It's like Blue Beetle. It is exactly like Blue Beetle.
Oh no, Blue Beetle is in more control.
So, and then you talked about the Superman travels to the apocalyptic future. Did you talk about that script part?
We talked about how it wasn't like continuing based on Superman versus Batman.
Yeah,
TV series.
I kind of think not the TV series. You mean the movie?
The movie. Yes, I apologize, people.
I kind of like that. They can't bring Darkseid in yet, but I just don't think the Justice League should have been formed yet until they fight the big villain.
Do you know I had a comment from supposedly a fan where they were wearing all this Justice League wardrobe and this and that. It's like, well, I'm not going to watch the movie. And this is before all the reviews came out. And I go, why? He's like, it's just so dark. I can't be in a movie theater where it's just so dark. And I'm like, well, what do you think war and battle is? And like, like there's rainbows outside. I mean... Right?
Well, they just, like you go to the Avengers is bright all the time. And then now you've got this...
And humor.
Yeah, you're going... Well, now we're going more to Guardians of the Galaxy and now Thor Ragnarok. I mean, it's all bright and it's got those bright
Bright
colors.
colors.
They're going way color.